Hey, what's up everyone? JT here. Welcome to Pineapple Money, where I talk about stock market news and investing for the long-term portfolio. I just wanted to make a quick market update video today on the markets and of course in general what I did in the stock market today, including 3 specific stocks: NIO, Tesla, and Square. So if you do find anything interesting in this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below and let me know in the comments what you did in the market today as well. So let's get started. I'm sure as you're aware, the big 3 indexes, the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 are all up today. The Dow closed around 1.34, the NASDAQ closed about 3.85, and then S&P 500 closed about 2.2. And as I'm filming this is November 4th. Yesterday was November 3rd. So we are currently in the midst of an election right now. So I would say in general, overall, it was a green day today. In the morning, it was actually really green. These numbers were, of course, bigger, as you can see from the futures from this morning. But, of course, as the day did start to fade, these gains did start to go down more and more. Now, a reason for this, of course, I would say, and of course, is my own opinion, but I think it's also due from the elections right now. So as you can see, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are currently in the midst of an election for our presidential candidacy. As you can see, there's still a couple of swing states that are still reporting right now. But I think in general, it's kind of pretty well known that objectively, if the Democrats do elect a president, there will be heavier tax reforms placed on businesses and more corporations. Now, that tax rate has the potential to affect middle-income Americans indirectly. Now, what I mean by indirectly is that looking at an article from CBS, they estimate that middle-income Americans may pay a 7% increase in taxes. And how is that? Well, corporate taxes are paid by investors, which is like maybe you and I, and companies tend to pass some of these costs of higher taxes to consumers by high prices or workers with lower wages. Now, the question that we need to determine later is how much we're going to be taxed, which of course will affect the stock market. And if Trump does become elected, well, I'm sure the lower tax rates will stay the same, so no effect will really happen there. Now, why is the markets up today by so much? Well, I would say that prior to last night, November 3rd, these swing states were all pointing, a lot of these swing states in general, I would say were mostly red, the ones with light blue right now, and they weren't towards Biden like right now. But as the night went on, it seemed like that Trump was going to win last night. That's why you can see the futures was up so significantly higher, which the stock market did react to that. And as you can see right now, it is lower than usual because as you can see throughout the day, looks like Biden is having a bigger lead in terms of the swing states. But now it is November 4th. The markets have just closed. And it seems like all we know for sure right now is that this presidential race is very close. And the results won't probably be finalized until later, so we have to wait. Alright, let's move on to what I did in the markets today. Alright, now talking about my moves in the market today, I would say both Square and NIO were both following the broader market in general, while Tesla was kind of either consolidating or they were kind of just downtrending a little bit, as you can kind of tell. Oop, that's not Tesla. That is Tesla right here. Once it loads. 1 second. So as you can see, Tesla was downtrending a little bit, but also just consolidating around this 420, 418 mark around here. And today I did pick up some more shares around the 420 mark because you know it's 420, and it seems like this Tesla does have some sort of resistance and a support level around this area. And now regards to NIO, let's go to NIO real quick. NIO was up today by a pretty considerable margin, about 6%, and after hours they are up about 130. They did hit a high about 39.75, which is an all-time high for them. What I'm doing is that I did pick up some shares around this $36 mark right here. And you know, because I do believe that NIO will be up much more in the future. And I would say I am cautiously buying more shares in NIO just because right now they are currently at the all-time high area, and in general I don't like to buy stocks especially when they're hitting the all-time highs. So I do expect them to be high in the future, but I am buying shares here and there just to nibble on. And lastly, let's look at Square. So Square did jump up a pretty considerable amount today. They did jump about 8% from their previous close on Tuesday. And today for Square, I did something different. I did do a credit spread, which is an options trade. And for those who don't know what credit spreads are, I can kind of explain option trading in a more detailed video later. But essentially, what I did is that I got paid credit for trading in between two strike prices. What I did is that I sold the 190 call and I bought the 200 call, which is called a call credit spread. And they have an expiration for November 6th, which is this Friday. I got a credit for $67 each for each contract, and I did put down a $1,000 collateral, which in total is about a 6.7 return back. So which is not bad for a credit spread, but in general, I would like to say an 8% to 10% is probably the better reason. But now the reason why I decided to buy and execute this specific trade was mainly because of one, they do have earnings this Thursday, which makes the premium for that credit a little higher because of the volatility due to earnings. And I do expect Square's earnings to be relatively the same and not really too astronomical. And I don't expect anything crazy because regarding to PayPal, they both are sympathies to each other. PayPal did have earnings this past Monday and they didn't do so hot. They did drop off afterwards in the after hours. So I do expect some sort of similar movement with Square, but just in case, I did give myself some buffer with the 190 call because right now they are trading around the 171 price target. So a buffer about $20, which is about 7% for Square, is not too bad, and that's why I chose the 190 and 200 strike price. Alright, so this kind of wraps up my video on the markets today. If you found anything interesting in this video, please don't forget to hit that like button down below, and also let me know down in the comments what you decide to do in the markets as well. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.